And that wasn't so bad. Now, I don't remember what buttons I've actually got through pressing, but I don't think I made it to this one. I've never gotten eaten by a shark on that section before. Okay. Okay, let's try this one last time. I think I can make it to that button without even touching the concrete block. I just needed one to get to the center and push those winches. There we go. And now that that is open, we saw a quick glimpse at the other new enemy. Well, actually, it's not a new enemy, because we saw it in the factory setting. I think we were supposed to do this one first, though. The K brand security drone, which is a security camera with a propeller taped to it. And it takes place in this room, which is now opened up. And you can see that there's a very distinct shift between these rooms here. The drone can't follow us out into the light for whatever reason, and when we're in the darkness, we can get spotted by security, and there's a rat approaching me. Again, the K drone is invincible. The rat is not, obviously. And we've got more buttons to press because we're in a new area. As well as K and ARF, which we didn't have to collect in the maze, which actually is surprising. And I've been spotted by the light, so if I just exit the area, he'll get distracted, and I can go back to my merry thievery. But it's really hard to determine what is inside the light, because it's a 2D texture in a 3D realm. Oh, I'm stuck on a forklift. I had to get stuck on the forklift eventually to get that R, but it just scooped me up without even consulting me. And we were supposed to press the winch to get that K, but I don't have time to screw around. I'm being chased by a security drone. Let's see, I've got 2 letters left to go, and I've pretty much solved all of the puzzles in this room I can think of. What's this winch do? Oh. I guess if they want to rationalize that, there's a switch for that. That's where they keep this floating platform, is the thing. Oh no! I landed on the propeller blades. Luckily, my shoes are made of plot device leather. And one more interesting switch to manipulate some machinery to get me a letter, and hopefully I can get out of here without getting detected again. I was trying to save the forklift for last because we have to ride it to exit the area, but it didn't turn out that way. And even if I get spotted now, it's not going to matter because the door is right here. Ooh!
You! How did you get in here?
Very carefully. Oh, he loves that joke.
The camera always has to shake in horror movies.
And that is a scary cutscene when you're playing this as a kid. You don't expect that to... Okay. So, we're in a new area. I'm pretty sure you can't tell. But this is completely different because it has seagulls in it. As well as rats. The seagull they took from, I think they were actually the originators of this sound effect, but you've heard it everywhere. It's almost as common as the dolphin sound effect that everybody uses. And we've got more buttons to press because we didn't get our fill last time. And I employed some expert strategy to kill that rat from the other side of this box. When you're doing the professional mode of this game, when everything is one-hit killing you and there aren't any health pickups, you want to employ strategies like that. As well as not bothering to chase the seagulls down, because there's no benefit in killing them, and they don't specifically seek you out. So they're not dangerous at all. Oh, and also there are barrels now, which are shaped like boxes. Thank you, Behavior Studios, for switching it up some. Oh, there are also giant boxes. And lockers with padlocks on them. Which are the most dangerous enemy in this area, actually. They just fall down sometimes.
Quite afraid.
And searchlights, because it's a warehouse, they gotta have security, right? And pits because it's on a dock, right? Everything is just a floating platform in this game above water, eventually. If I had ever bothered to look down into all the bottomless pits from the previous levels, you would see that there is water at the bottom of them. That little death cutscene I get when I fall too far is actually me falling at the bottom of the ocean, but I had such terminal velocity by that point that it looked like I was falling through thin air. Another button that we don't even know why we're pressing it yet, but I'm not going to go show you why and then come back because... Oh no, a security drone! It's really hard to determine where the camera itself can look. I'm guessing because it's shaped like a camera, it has its own field of vision. It is not just there to attack me once the laser spots me. And here we have the biggest puzzle yet. It's 3 winches in a row.
Nice to see they're switching it up.
We could have actually hit this button from the other side of the grate with a tailspin, but we had to come over here anyway, so it's entirely pointless. Just a sequence break for sequence break's sake. And there's a lot more nitro boxes in this area because they tend to breed around barrel and one-up areas. This winch is entirely here so we can safely traverse this grate and press the final switch, but as you can tell, you walk over the grate with your feet. You don't need to avoid them at all. And let's replenish my health stores, because I was getting a little worried there. I wasn't at maximum one-ups. And I got one more from the pumpkins just for good measure. Let's go see if we can find where that cube was. I believe it's on the other side of that grate. Because I jumped down to get those one-ups, I actually made myself go through the entire section of the level again. And it was entirely worth it, because I'm going to die 97 times on the next mini-boss. I predict. And to see what our reward is for getting this far. An empty hallway with more boxes, and a tiny rat! This is the best enemy in all of Jersey Devil, and it makes no sense. And the carrot is entirely ruining it. This rat runs around with sneakers and stuff. It looks like a mascot of some sort that I don't get the reference to. But if we jump on the rat, it gets bigger and then turns invulnerable. And it looks like it's just doing that on its own accord, but we're actually causing damage to it by making it slightly bigger. And instead of making it bigger and bigger until it explodes or something, we're just stepping on it when it's small 3 times. And if it runs into us, it's really hard to hit because we can't do anything but jump on it. If we hit it enough times, nothing interesting will happen. And it just explodes into its separate parts. And it wasn't needed to progress, and it's never shown up in the entire game anywhere else. But it's here, and it's probably the best. It's probably my favorite part of the entire game. That was the highlight of this Let's Play. Almost as interesting is this stair to nowhere that the dock workers installed. But they did put a box right next to it so we can jump over it. I think that's used for the loading and unloading of other staircases. And we just got tackled off of it by the dock worker rat. 4 hits and he's down. And we've got another 1 cube, which is actually stretched out model of the actual cube. This is a rectangle, if you'll see. Let's see if we can find the switch. We could just get through this. Oh, there we are. Another brain buster from Behavior Interactive. And we're fast approaching. This looks like an ominous boss fight type area. Aside from the enemy here, it looks like we could trick something into falling into these here. I'm guessing they were planning for a mini-boss here, with maybe involving that tiny rat, but this is entirely useless. None of these hold anything, and enemies can't fall into them. The only thing here you can do is jump on the nitro boxes, or fall into the pits. Oh, and collect the Knarf tokens. I think it's because they couldn't just have an empty room, so they're like, okay, we can throw more pits into it, but that's not dangerous. Let's throw some pillars around too. That'll make it an interesting and fun area. This area is not interesting, nor is it fun. We've got more pumpkins showing up, because this is the Halloween factory, apparently. And we've got our first hostage, who is quite late in this area. The thing about the sewer port is the areas are very long. I mean, this level could have been cut 2 areas. This could end it right here, but no, they kept going. They're in it for the long run. And, though nothing hints towards this, we can kill these enemies and push these giant crates that you wouldn't think you could push, but you can. And no indication is given to that. So either you get stuck here for a while, or you'll see this in a few seconds, you'll fall prey to one of the most dickish. Now you have to do the entire level over again if you want to get 100% actions ever. Just after I push these cubes here. For some reason, when I was doing this the first time, I thought that I had to push these boxes into the other room, push them over the grates, and then drop them into the water for some reason. But that's not the puzzle. There is no puzzle. We can free this guy, and let's see, if we decided to push this box here first to get over to the hostage, what would occur? You'd fall into a hole and go on to the next area without being able to go back. Thanks, Jersey Devil. Luckily, you're riding with an expert. And you may say, okay, now we're going to fall into the boss area. No, we've got 7 nitro boxes left. And they don't put nitro boxes in the sewer level. So we've got another sewer section, because the beginning 15-minute section was not enough. Only this is like ramped up difficulty. And because there aren't nitro boxes here, yes, that means there is another area after this one. Luckily, we can already see the end from here. So, it's entirely pointless. Why would you want to put this in here if we're just going to make us go to the next area another minute in? Maybe they only had a spawn point next to a sewer grate, and they didn't want to draw a door. Maybe they wanted to bring back old mechanics.
Maybe it's because every level has to have retractable jelly.
We're never going to catch him, so... If he keeps throwing tedium and makes the levels inexplicably longer... They could have thrown these 7 nitro boxes in a previous section and cut this out entirely, but they modeled it, goddammit, they're going to use it. More boxes, more switches, more grates... More barrels, more of these things that don't make any sense. TNT boxes that don't do anything. There's nothing if we do that and then jump up here. It's not a puzzle. There's no puzzle. There are some more kind of out-of-the-way nitro boxes, like this one. And there's nothing in any of these. I hope there's not KNRF around there. But instead we've got one last section that is much more interesting than the previous ones. And that's only relative. I really wish they would have cut out something else and used this one instead. We've got more of the barrels thing, and you'll notice that the K and ARF are always placed in the same placement around this large barrel, almost like they copied and pasted. They could have switched it up by putting some in different order, but that wouldn't have been much of an improvement. They could have improved on it by making the barrels taller or more spaced out rather than always around the same barrel. But that would require effort and insight, and Jersey Devil's creators can't be bothered with that. Instead, KNARF, well, they threw in a searchlight. That kind of makes this one difficult. Now that we've got that timing puzzle out of the way, we've got another copied and pasted forklift from the previous area to start us up onto the next section, which I've glitched through the grating on, so we didn't actually get to, let's see, there we are. Now this section, I say, is interesting because it has a new mechanic. You press the button, the grating gets pushed upwards, we can keep going forward, then we push another button, and then, oh wait, we've got to fall, oh, these are on a timer. God damn it. Behavior interactive. Okay, we're going to go up here, press the switch, then check the grating first, because sometimes they hide things under the grating. Yeah, we're gonna have to press the switch, fall down, make steady progress throughout this area until we've collected everything. I'm sure the reward at the end of the levels are going to be so great for getting 100%. I think that is actually the next only one hidden under a grate that's on a timer, so if I can just not fall down accidentally this time and try to cover it up by bothering about Behavior Interactive, we should be good. And as a matter of fact, I think after you press the final switch, they all stay up permanently. Oh no! 2 switches! Behavior Interactive, you cads! What if it's on a timer? Yep, it was. They almost got me. Okay. And this looks like a secret, but it's not. You can't push that box. It's just a flat wall. This one is too. Now we've got all of these switches going at varying piston frequencies, but we've also got to go get the remaining letters from the level. I should have done this earlier. Oh no! Come on, let me make this jump. They're not gonna let me make that jump. But I can ride the pistons instead of walking all the way around. Also, I don't think that there's any repercussion by getting hit by that searchlight. Correction, I do remember the repercussion. If you get hit by the searchlight, all the barrels respawn. And that's fantastic. Nothing like 1.5 of the same puzzle if you get interrupted midway through. And that's all we need from this area. Just need to get to the exit, actually. And there are some nitro boxes hidden under these grates. Or this grate. I don't see any others. But RJ, you say, we've still got 3 nitro boxes to get. How can we go through this area if we haven't got all of the nitro boxes? Well, dear viewer, you're forgetting something. That's not one of those end-of-level markers. And there is another nitro box, but that's besides the point. If we get hit under the grates, we get instantly killed, even if we're crouching. Go figure. So let's just run through this entire area again, and on the way there I'm explaining what's going to happen once I get through that K door. We're going to go through another similarly sized area. Doesn't that sound fun? Doesn't sound like a great game? The sewer port is definitely the low point of Jersey Devil, if you can imagine that. Before I enter this, I want you to note that these are windows, and we all know what happens with windows in the Jersey Devil series. Also, there's conveyor belts just going through this really out-of-place designed walls and windows that kind of remind me of the Haunted Mansion for some reason. Wonder what that could be. Every single window in this spawns a bat that dies in one hit, so if I just keep jumping like this, I'm going to make it to the end of the conveyor belt with 14 bat carcasses under my wing. And it was entirely necessary to implement that, because Behavior Studios are worthless. And I don't think there's any other instance of this texture with the exclamation points on it. I don't know why that is, or why that's interesting enough to note, but it is. And this area is just a really tiny area where they make you collect the same 5 letters again, just because they wanted to have a bridge between this and the boss fight. Behavior Interactive, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like they couldn't have just moved the area around. Okay. I'm not ready to step forward because I'm missing 1 nitro box. That's because this isn't the next boss area. This is more area with 1 nitro box in it. So, if you're keeping count, that is 7 load screens we've crossed. This doesn't look suspicious at all. 7 load screens over 15, 17 different areas. And there's a hostage blocking our way. And there's the final nitro box, by the way. TNT boxes. I see right through your scheme. There's obviously something underneath all of those explosions, which take place individually. The final hostage for this area. One of the very few mandatory hostages in the game. This late in the game, anyway. And if I can just get up to that nitro box without falling into the next area, I should be okay. Yeah, we are sufficiently ready to take on. Why is there a giant floating box? Maybe if I jump from here, I can actually break the box rather than. Oh, I guess I'll have to restart the entire level over again so I can see what's inside that box. That's not a lock key, so I can just walk forward and open it. And actually, no. We're stuck down here. Because I didn't push the box up from down the ledge, we are stuck down here forever. See y'all next time.